Well, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Automotive Insight. Today we've got a 2013 Honda Accord with a noisy left rear wheel bearing. So, without further ado, let's get into it. We'll start by taking the tire off. It's 19 mils. We're already starting off great because the two screws that normally hold the rotor on, they're gone. These are Phillips head ordinarily. Whoever either took the rotor off or maybe put a wheel bearing in it before, they didn't line these holes back up the way they're supposed to. They're supposed to be two Phillips head here. They can be tricky to get off. Usually an impact screwdriver will get them out, but even then, sometimes they don't want to come out. If we had an example, I'd show you. But if you take a flat-ended air hammer punch and just put it over top of it, and that vibration a lot of times will take the rust off, and you can get it out with just an impact screwdriver at that point. But anyway, we don't have to deal with that. So we're going to take the caliper and the bracket off together. That's two 17s in the back. Put that off to the side. Effortlessly take our rotor off. See, ordinarily it would go into these threads, but you can see it was here and here. So when it goes back on, it should go, let's see here, what's our orientation? It should go like that so that your threads line up and the screws will go back in there.
Is it a must-have?
Nope.
No, but
it's not a must-have at all. So the next part is, I guess it's technically optional, but highly recommended. We're going to pull this ABS sensor out of here because we don't want to risk snapping it off when we take the bearing out. It's a 10 millimeter. All that's left now is 4 bolts that hold this hub assembly in. They're the same 17s that you took the caliper bracket bolts off with. And they're very tight. This next part is a total crapshoot. These are dissimilar metals. It's an aluminum knuckle and a steel bearing. Even where we live, where we don't have rust issues, these still corrode. And sometimes you have to beat them nearly to death to get them out. They do make a thing, it's called like a hub tamer, that it kind of bolts on here and you whack it out here. Generally speaking, you can just beat them with a hammer and get them off. Now do yourself a favor, take some Scotch-Brite and try to get some of this rust and corrosion out of here first. It'll make things a little bit easier when you go back together with it. I like to put just a little bit of anti-seize to prevent it from doing this. And you could also make the joke that we're just adding a third dissimilar metal to the mix, but this stuff's pretty good at resisting corrosion. This one is totally symmetrical, so it will go on any direction.
And both sides.
Huh?
And it'll go on the other side too.
Oh, yeah, and this will go for the right side wheel bearing too. But anyway, we'll go back in with this thing. Now, do yourself a favor, get them all started by hand first. Nothing more frustrating than getting one ran in all the way and all 3 of the other ones are all cattywampus. All right, we'll go ahead and get our ABS back in. So let's see if this mosquito right here, let's see if it can get through that glove. Nope, he's giving up. All right, we'll pretend like we care, and we'll line these threads up for the next poor guy who has to do this. Just so we're not fighting this, we'll try to run a bolt up here. We'll get our caliper back on.
2 hours later.
Well, my hack didn't work. I'm going to have to end up taking the caliper back apart. Well, we can't get the brakes, the calipers squeezed in enough to be able to put the caliper back on. So these are screw-in calipers. We're just going to run it in like a quarter of a turn. This is a fancy little tool. This one uses air, but they have them that are just little cubes that you can go in and push. And if you were so inclined, you could probably use needle nose or something. But
I like that thing.
now it does matter where the notches go, because there is there's a like a nipple on the back of the pad that's going to fit into that notch. So you want it to be kind of like perpendicular, kind of like that, so that the nipple will go into this groove right here. Get our 12s back on. Get our wheel back on, and we'll call this one done. Well, guys, that's going to wrap this one up. Hub assemblies, they're really easy to do. It took us all of about 15 minutes, even with the minor setback of having to take the caliper off the bracket and run the piston back in. But this is super simple. There's no reason that anybody out there, I mean, all you need is basic hand tools and you can do this. But anyway, that's going to end this one, guys. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up from you. Let us know what you think down in the comment section. We have new content for you every single week, so consider subscribing to the channel. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. I'm willing to get West Nile disease for this show.